Welcome into the Sweet 16 preview special / opening day preview. Consistently Inconsistent Sports, back at it. I'm your host, Colin Morris. Who is here? The regulars, the Motley Crew, Leighton Markwood, Michael Kinslow. What's happening, boys?
Oh, let's get it. Let's get it.
No ghosting here, right, Michael?
Not here. We show up for the boys.
We show up.
What are Saturdays for?
The boys! But it's Wednesday, so
Wednesday,
who knows?
my dude.
All right, so we're going to bust right into the what had happened since we last spoke. First off, pour one out. We'll never see 87 catch a pass from 12 again. Rob Gronkowski is suspended. Not suspended. He retired.
It's a silly. What news are you
Suspended.
reading, bro?
He is retired.
Tell you what, though, you could say he's suspended from scoring touchdowns.
That's
Yeah,
fact.
he'll yeah, that's a true sentence, sir. Let's see. Leighton, if you had to encapsulate Gronk's entire career in one specific play, what would it be?
Dude, I think you have to put it how it all ended. Like, he had the game-winning play this past Super Bowl, and that was his last catch, his last play on the field. A 29-yard passing play, the biggest play of the game for either team, and on the first drive of OT that set Rex Burkhead up on the 2-yard line.
Sorry, that was me still being asleep from watching the Super Bowl.
Yeah.
But, like, Gronk showed up at the biggest stage, and it was his worst season. He, like, had half of a spine to work with.
He's been playing with one arm for 3 years.
Yeah.
Can he even move it? Like, it just seems like it's always, like, shaped like this.
Yeah, does he always wear that brace? Like, in everyday
it's like
life?
always
He's in the
that-
shower.
Goes to the club, always has selfie arm. Like, girl just puts phone in hand. Like, hey, Gronk, would you mind taking our picture? Of course, Lo Soy Fiesta.
Dude, but do you guys think he's seriously done, or do you think he might come back?
November. I say November.
Dude, it's like if the Patriots
It
are going to
depends on-
lose,
yeah.
they're going to lose a game to the Jets or Dolphins somewhere down the stretch. It's going to be one of those two teams.
If the
And
Patriots have 9 wins by November, I say he comes back. But if the Patriots are like 2
Well, come on.
2-8, you know, like, you know, maybe 4, maybe like 4-7. He's like, nah.
No, I think they need to have an obvious void. Like, maybe be like 7-5. But like Brady looks kind of lost out there. He doesn't have a security blanket. Maybe they don't sign any free agent tight ends, so they're just like throwing out a rookie and like some like Human Nui or whatever that guy was.
Nui.
Yeah, like then Gronk's just gonna be like, yeah, I'm back, baby. Let's go.
Well, you know, it's kind of like the first guy of this generation, kind of ours, even though, you know, Leighton, we sit at the feet of, Ray Lewis, Ed Reed generation of defenders. But, this is kind of our age generation guy retiring. Like, Gronk is closer to our age, Ray Lewis, those guys closer.
Yeah, he's not even 30 yet. Only played 9 years in the league. We were in high school when he was playing football at Arizona State. So yeah, like,
Arizona, not
Arizona. Yeah, my apologies.
Go Wildcats. Michael, did he ever give you that "where did the bad man touch you" feeling?
Like Aaron Hernandez did?
Oh.
No, not like that. But I mean, yes, in a football game, he did bad things to my team many times.
Who the bad guy?
Yeah, like the amount of times I saw my middle linebacker try and cover that dude over the middle, and you just saw a robot arm go flying up and just snatch a ball. Too many.
Well, you could say he kind of inspired the. It was like him, and then Jimmy Graham, and now Travis Kelce.
Travis Kelce, Kittle are probably the best two
Yeah,
No,
Kittle.
Jordan Reed's good when he's not hurt.
How
But
are you not going to throw out the Philadelphia guy? Zach Ertz.
Zach Ertz.
Yeah.
He's on your team, Philadelphia guys. Fuck you.
He set records. He's going to be one of my only keepers in the fantasy league. Zach Ertz and Kamara.
Oh my god, I can't even think about my fantasy team right now. Gets
AB,
Nick Chubb,
Mr.
Brown
Big Chubb.
signed Kareem Hunt. Are you kidding me? Like, come on. What else happened? What were we saying? Leighton, break down this whole AAF thing, man. We were kind of into it. Like, I was into it the first week, and then I'm gonna be honest, I haven't given a shit since.
dude, I went to a game. I bought paraphernalia.
We have a real AAF fan in the building, and Michael.
Yeah.
And yeah, Colin, you're right. Like, we were all aboard that train week one. Like, we saw that first
its logo
Apollos
was on our
game.
page.
It was terrific. But yeah, I've not seen, other than like seeing some highlights on Twitter, I have not tuned in at all. But basically, breaking news today is that
Go Stallions.
the
Go
NFL,
Stallions.
the NFLPA is not working with the AAF right now, and they're basically refusing to allow quote unquote young players to play in the AAF, which is trying to be a developmental league for the NFL.
So what
with
you're
that-
saying is that the AAF didn't do the work on the back end, and now it's coming forward now.
Yeah, I guess they just built the league without like
They
trying to
sold
get
us
all
a
the
fake bag of
approval.
goods.
Yeah. And apparently they'll make a decision within 2 days on whether or not to fold.
Now, what I
Before
don't want to
the
see
season
here, what I don't want to see is that these players that have gone and played are now going to suffer if they try to go play in the NFL.
Oh no, they're not going to suffer. This
make
is
it
for future years. Like, a lot of the young guys won't be allowed to play for the AAF. Like, there's a bunch of guys in the AAF that are like going to be on teams' training camps, or they've been practice squad players in the NFL.
Well, hopefully they get it together, because there should be a middle ground, I think, because there are some guys that just simply aren't ready, but
Or
need something else to do.
the XFL has already done the dirty work, and they've made the hand and shake agreement with the NFLPA, and they will be the developmental league.
I don't even know what to think about that. I can't even contemplate where the XFL is feeding the NFL.
But Vince McMahon knows what he's doing.
Yeah,
So
but
he's
in
gotta
a
have
world, where quarterbacks are being protected, you want to bring the XFL players into the NFL. Like, it just seems like the total reverse message that you're trying to say.
No, but McMahon already said it's going to be a no-nonsense league. Like, it's not going to be the old XFL. It's going to be strict football rules.
Extreme football.
No, like, fake names on the back of the jersey, like, which kind of ruins the purpose. But
yeah. All right, well, let's roll into. We got 3 main topics. That's 6. We got 3 main topics for today. First one: the NFL has made a monumental rule change, stating that defensive pass interference and offensive pass interference plays and non-call plays. Am I correct in saying that? Non-calls?
I think it was just if they actually threw a flag one way or the other.
Okay. Will be challengeable. So, we're going to call this the New Orleans bitch about it and get your way rule. So, this is relating back to the New Orleans Saints LA Rams game, where who was the corner for the Rams?
I don't even know his name, to be completely honest with you.
The corner for the Rams goes up against, was that Michael Thomas?
No, it was Tommy Lee Lewis was the receiver.
Okay.
Yeah.
And then goes up, and it's clearly pass interference. Unfortunately, it's pass interference.
Like, I mean, he hit the man a solid second and a half.
Hit the man
2 seconds
with the crown of his head, from what I saw.
Before the ball even got there. Like,
Here's the full rule, guys. They can review it whether it was actually called on the field or not. So
right, so that's what I was saying, a non-call.
Okay, so if
right,
it's questionable,
so it's a non-call. Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
So so what they're saying is that Sean Payton could have thrown a flag here. They would have reviewed it, flipped it. Now, here is what I don't want to happen. It should not be. I think that in overtime, in the last 2 minutes of a game, it should be booth review only.
That's what it is.
Okay. Because I don't think it should be that Sean Payton gets to throw that flag with 2 minutes left, and it's let's go as extremely hypothetical as possible. Let's go back to the Gronk Philadelphia Hail Mary, where Gronk is in the middle of those 6 Philly players. Now, say Belichick has a challenge and he throws that and says, I think there was pass interference on that play. Everybody that watches football knows that Hail Marys are just guys going up for it in a last-ditch effort, and whatever happens, happens. But you know that there is pass interference on every single Hail Mary play. So now you're saying that these guys can throw the flag if they're on their 45-yard line, and then suddenly they flip it to the 1?
Yeah, well, but that won't be the case because it's a normal challenge play now. So it's within 2 minutes, booth review only.
Okay.
So we don't have to worry about that.
I just don't want, somebody to find some way to take advantage of this and,
Hail Mary every play.
Right. That's what I was thinking. Like Hail Mary, like say it's like first play of the game. Guy Hail Marys it from the 20-yard line, throws a flag. He's like, no, that guy just clobbered my guy.
Yeah. Like it's gonna be almost like whose cojones are bigger between the coaches. Like they're just gonna call these crazy like trips go routes, and they're just gonna, dare you to throw the flag on them.
Hey, I mean, you still only get 2 challenges, so
true. It's only 14 points.
Yeah,
you can only cheat yourself 14.
Well, if you win both challenges, you still get
the same thing.
If you win both, you still get the 3rd challenge. So up to 21 potential.
Okay, so let's look at this and think it's on the trial basis. So we're probably thinking that this is going to hold through and be a thing. I've never seen this before where things are put in on a trial basis.
I mean, the kickoff crap was put in.
That was a trial basis that they did in the preseason. They're not even trying this in the preseason.
You're right. It's just going straight in.
It's just going straight in.
What about the extra
point? It was
a
31-1 vote, and the only team that didn't vote for it was Cincinnati.
I was gonna laugh. It was the Rams.
Cincinnati.
If it was the Rams, that would have been bad headlines.
Guys, this article I pulled up is voicing the same concerns we have about Hail Marys, and it's basically saying like
it'll change the game.
No, it's basically saying not to worry. Like they're not going to call those.
Okay.
Unless it's like blatant.
Like he just tackles them in the end zone or some crap.
That's what it says.
I need Gene Steratore to come in here and tell me exactly what's wrong. Gene, what do you think?
Dude, they had him coming in the basketball game.
I know.
Yeah,
I was like, what's going on?
I was like, Gene is a basketball guy now too. What?
Gene is on that CBS dick. He has got that money. He's like, I'm just chilling. He's probably just chilling at his house.
Yo, we're gonna be watching like the Tour de France one day. It's just like, Gene, I need a rules check on this, and he's just gonna be. It seems that his
WD-40 just gassed out there at the last stop, guys. Doesn't seem like he'll be able to move on.
Yeah. Gene's just like, oh, thanks, Gene. He looks a little offsides to me. I don't know. Jim.
Let me catch Michael with something. How's the weather, Ollie?
It's raining sideways.
Thanks, Ollie. Okay, so let's look at what do you think about it, guys? Like overall, are you a fan of it? Do you think that this is good for football? This is like bad for football? Are we controlling it too much? What do you think?
Honestly,
kind of final thoughts.
I'm fine with it in the sense that like if it doesn't impede the game too much, because I mean the thing is like it's definitely going to slow games down. Like it's going to come up in games and slow them down a little bit. But the thing is like if you get the competitive integrity goes up in the game because you don't get these blown calls, then I think it's worth it.
Yeah, I think it's good, and I don't think it's really going to slow the game down too much because I think you're only going to see it in close, hard-fought games. Like, if it's a 35-point blowout game, the refs aren't going to bother throwing the going to the booth in the last 2 minutes. Everybody just wants to get home at that point.
Facts. From a sports cameraman, that's a fact. Everybody just wants to go home. But college basketball. Guys, how are our brackets doing? Commish?
I'm doing all right. I'm like middle of the pack, but
we flipped it around. Thursday, we were looking like shit.
We moved up over the second round, man.
We turned it around. We really turned it around.
I've lost 2 of my Elite 8 teams, but I got the full Final Four. I got my champion still alive. So you always got to feel good when you made it through the first weekend and you still have a Final Four intact. Michael, how are you looking?
I've got my entire Elite 8, except I had Iowa State coming out over Kentucky.
Oh.
Or not Kentucky, over Houston. So I've got all of them in. I am super banking on Michigan State, though. If Michigan State goes out, I'm bust. Like 100% I'm out. So
yeah, I'd love to see Virginia Tech beat Duke so that I can feel confident about Michigan State advancing.
Yeah,
go ahead. In this league, I did pick Duke to go to the championship game.
You did.
Dude, I don't know, man. That scare from UCF. Ooh, I'm glad I picked Michigan State.
Man. Okay, let me explain something. I wanted
that win so bad for UCF.
Let me explain. Let me explain how and why that happened. Okay.
Duke isn't as good as they really are.
Yeah, that's a fact. That's a fact. Yeah. So let me get back to it. All right. I agree with you. So let me get to the point. So there are these things in life called the basketball gods. And we live and we breathe and we die by their grace. Much as like the Lord of Light. Michael, you and I are firm believers in the Lord of Light.
No, I don't like that flaming asshole.
Bro, come on. That's the only real stuff in Game of Thrones. Don't play with me. Don't play with me. She lights that sword lights on fire. You can't tell me that ain't real.
He's just like whoosh.
So let me explain what happened when that ball is rolling around the rim. There's 5 old basketball savants chilling up in the ether, watching every basketball game, dictating how it will go. And they just pushed that ball right off the rim because they were like, nope, we're not done with these kids yet. These kids have another level that they need to go to. And I think Michigan State's going to bring it out of them. And I think if you thought the UCF game was good, the Michigan State game is going to blow it out of the water.
Are you just skipping Virginia Tech? The team
Absolutely.
That beat them already?
Absolutely.
Okay.
Absolutely.
A conference foe?
Dude, I don't know about the basketball gods though, Colin.
Don't play with me.
It's too like you got to think about it in a real sense. Like one of my favorite comments is the Baylor. I can't remember who it was from Baylor, but a Baylor player was asked, "How do you get out rebounded by Yale?"
That would be the great Taurean Prince.
Is it Taurean Prince? Yeah. They were playing like Yale or something. Like, how do you get out rebounded by Yale? He's like, well, when the basketball comes off the rim, you go up and you grab it. And they did that more than us.
He was like,
just Steve's career answer.
Sometimes when they shoot and the ball comes off the rim a little bit, you go up, you grab it, you bring it down with 2 hands.
Oh, yeah, he said the 2 hands.
Yeah, take it with 2 hands. Maintain possession. They call that a rebound. They got more of those than we did.
Like, do the basketball gods control that? That's a pretty practical answer.
Yes, but then I feel like the basketball gods willed the other team to give more rebounds than those guys.
I don't know, man.
Duke is also like one of the worst 3-point shooting teams to ever make the tournament. Ever.
Yes.
So, like, teams are going to hang with them if they make shots, and UCF was making shots. Like, they had a couple kids who could light it up.
Aubrey Dawkins, all hail the king, Johnny Dawkins, and this is Prince Aubrey has come through, and Prince Aubrey said, I should have gone to Duke. If his dad was still the assistant coach of Duke, you don't think he'd have been suited up in the black and blue?
I'm sure, but like, hey, man, he's balling in UCF now.
He essentially would have been the Javid DeLaurier of this Duke team if things would have gone the way they did. But let's see. What matchup are you guys looking forward to the most? So we got Sweet 16 tomorrow and Friday. For me, Texas Tech, Michigan.
That's a good one.
That's going to be a humdinger.
I really want to see North Carolina Auburn. I think both teams.
I think Jordan Harper and Kobe. Oh my God, Kobe White versus Jordan Harper. Ooh, that makes my little basketball head explode.
Dude, those teams are just going to be streaking down the court. It's going to be the fastest game.
Pew, pew, pew. It's going to be like a tennis match.
Yeah.
Pew, pew, pew.
Dude, I think. Go ahead, Layton.
I was just going to say, I hope that Auburn makes its shots because that's what's going to keep them in the game and keep it exciting. When they hit the three, man, they're a scary team. But if they miss, they're out. It's over.
Dude, I think
A la Wofford.
Yeah, Wofford was that kid. I don't even know his name, but he missed so many shots. You know which kid I'm talking about too.
What was he, like 0 for 7,
Yeah.
0 for 10?
Yeah,
He was 0 for 12.
Yeah, from behind the arc.
And what, he made 7 or 8 in the first game?
He was 7 of 14 in the first round, and
He had like 34 points or something.
0
Like that.
for 12.
Yeah,
Yikes.
but I think Purdue's gonna beat the snot out of Tennessee, dude.
No!
We all jump is about to go down, man. Purdue just looks good this tournament so far.
We all jump. That's so true. I'm right here with the SEC.
I have no faith in Purdue. I picked them to win the whole thing last year, and they lost in the second round. So I've no faith in Purdue. They were a 2 seed last year. They were the top 2 seed. They had Robbie Hummel.
I don't know what to do with my hands here.
You know, I'm actually this isn't necessarily an answer to your question, but I think the team that surprised me the most so far is LSU.
Yeah, I totally thought that they definitely could have just like
in every bracket I made, I put Yale over them in round 1. Every bracket I made.
Oh, I had Utah State beating Washington in every bracket.
So did I.
I was so sure that Utah State was gonna beat Washington.
I had all my Mormon all my Mormon coworkers were telling me like Utah State's got a high-powered offense, bro. Like
every time I looked at it, I was like, Irvin or Michael.
Those boys were averaging like 85 a game or something like that, and then they get
They got torched.
Yeah.
Well, we'll definitely take a look at the tournament and where it's at the next time we talk. Because next time we talk, we could have a national champion. We may not, get a chance to speak next week. We will do our best.
That's why we're consistently inconsistent.
That's a fact, and that is a fact. So if you had to pick a national champion right now, I'm not going to say it for fear of jinxing. But if you two had to pick national champions right now, based on what you've seen in this tournament, who would it be?
Based on what we've seen in the tournament.
Yes, not on who you picked beforehand, but based on what you've seen in the tournament, who would it be? That's why I do this.
I think Michigan has looked like the best team.
Michigan has. That's I was looking at the scores, and Michigan just looks solid.
Is that because they were the better team, or is that because they were playing lesser opponents?
They did have
They probably had
not an easy schedule, but they had a nice little road.
They had the easiest routes to the Sweet 16.
It should have been Michigan State's. Just saying.
I mean, Michigan State did beat them in the Big Ten. So,
well, the whole thing was that the Michigan State thing that they were put in Duke's bracket because Washington D.C. was closer than where Michigan is going to end up playing if they play in the Elite Eight.
That makes no sense. Like Florida played in freaking Salt Lake City over. Like I could have gone and watched that game.
Yeah, Zion was in Columbia.
Yeah.
Any other thoughts on the tournament, boys?
I do want to see how LSU does against Michigan State on Friday.
I think you don't know what we're gonna get, right? Like, are
They
we gonna
had
get?
But they had a really tough Admiral game against Maryland. They almost
That
let
was
slip away.
a great game.
Yeah.
That was the whole weekend was sandwiched. It was LSU Maryland the first game on Saturday morning. The rest were shit, and then the Duke UCF game, and then it was all a nice little sandwich, and then it made up for it. But before that UCF Duke game, the whole weekend was terrible. Like
Just
all
like-
the games went exactly how they were supposed to go.
Yeah. It's just like you could get the LSU from the SEC tournament and just like fall apart. Or you get the LSU that we saw throughout the regular season before all the scandals, and then they look like a solid team. Like,
I can't believe we only have 2 seeds that are less than a 4 in the Sweet 16.
Right. So here I am, this guy. I do fast breaks and hot takes. You can follow that on iTunes, Spotify, Stitcher, Alexa, and Google. And, I try to seem like I know what the hell I'm talking about. And I'm talking about these good teams. And the only one I got right was John Morant. Like, I've been talking about John Morant for like 2.5 months. And then the rest of them, like, you might as well have just fucking picked whatever the higher number was. And, like, what's that? Like, that's not a fun tournament.
I really thought the Anteaters were going to come through, though.
Hey, I mean, they came through a little bit.
Oregon shuts them down.
Come on now. Oregon's playing nasty ball, and a lot of that team was in the elite, was in the Final Four last year, right?
was that the
Was that last year or 2 years ago?
I think it was 2 years ago.
2 years ago, but a lot of that team was in the Final Four besides like Dylan Brooks, who's in the league now. And was
that Oregon-Wisconsin game the biggest upset so far?
That was not an upset. They were favored in Vegas. Like, they were favored.
But I mean, like, pure seeding-wise.
Wait, what did you
say?
No,
because UC Irvine won.
That's true. UC Irvine did win. Murray State also beat Marquette.
Yeah, nobody higher than a 13 seed. Nobody lower than a 13 seed won a game.
So, yeah, the 12s, the two 12s.
The 13, 14.
The 12s went 3-1 in the opening week.
Hey, man. Because the 12s are the best.
Yeah.
The 12s are statistically the best of the automatic bid teams.
Yeah.
And of the mid-major automatic teams. And then the 5s are the lowest of the automatic given bid
at large.
The at large bids. So I mean
the Power 5 at large, yeah.
Yeah, so those are I love picking those. Like those you can feel those coming. And isn't it weird that I just called mid-majors 12s and then Oregon was the Pac-12 champion? And then
yeah.
I could see Oregon beating Virginia. Like
I could easily see that.
Like easily, not just squeaking by, like winning by double digits.
So college basketball is like in this like weird dynamic where you either have like these super fast teams, like so we're gonna see. I'd love to do a breakdown of the Auburn North Carolina game compared to the Oregon Virginia game because you could say they're very different, but they're also very similar. They're two teams that play the same style, just. You could say North Carolina plays it better than Auburn and Virginia plays it more successfully than Oregon. But you're going to see slow on slow and fast on fast. So this is going to be fun. So what do we think? If there's a 1 seed that goes down this weekend, who's the 1 seed that's most likely to go down?
I think it's Virginia. Easy.
Yeah, I'm saying Virginia too.
They
just don't look good, man.
Don't count out Florida State.
No. Like I would say Duke and Gonzaga are just behind them. North Carolina is the only one that I feel like very, very confident about.
See, I don't. I got Kentucky going to the Final Four.
Well, they're not playing Kentucky.
Well, they will.
Right. I just mean this, like.
Okay. Well, no, they'll
16.
play them this weekend. That's what I was saying. This weekend. I'm saying you could do the whole weekend if you wanted to. Like.
Okay. Well, I'm just gonna say Virginia. Like, I don't know what it is about them. They just don't. They're not the same team in the tournament. They've almost lost both.
Kyle Guy, where are you? My guy.
Where's DeAndre Hunter? He's supposed to be a lottery pick.
Yeah, can't find him either. You know who should be a lottery pick? Colby White. And I'm a Duke fan, so show some fucking respect for what I just said.
Yeah, I want the Wizards to get him. If they don't get like a top 6 pick,
that would be sick.
Yeah.
Or the Suns. The Suns should get him.
They've been looking for a point guard since Steve Nash.
They've been no, because they had Isaiah Thomas, Eric Bledsoe, and Goran Dragic at one time, and they couldn't fucking decide what route they wanted to go down. Don't tell me they didn't have point guards. They had 3 of them, and then they wasted them.
No, yeah. Well, they had 3 very good point guards that they all played sparing minutes. So
they were the best team to start out with in like 2K11.
Yeah.
Because then you could trade, and then you get some good dudes back from all that. Yeah. All right.
Yeah.
It's time, boys.
Opening day.
Welcome to baseball season. Spring training is over. The Braves ended it on a grand slam walk-off. Let's go, Braves. Leighton, give us the rundown. We got the big moves. Everybody's kind of settling in to the new reality, though Bryce Harper has something wrong with him, right? He's injured.
Is he?
Yes.
Dude, he probably strained his back from lifting up all that money.
He injured his.
Are you sure? I don't see anything. I've been like, I don't see anything, dude.
I thought there was. Oh, here it is. A huge sigh of relief with ankle injury. This was March 16th. He was hit by a pitch. That's what it was. It was his first game as a Philly, and he was hit by a pitch in the ankle.
Oh, he's fine.
Okay.
Yeah.
So what do you think? Who are we? Do we got the top guys here? Is this still the league of the Astros, the Yankees, the Red Sox? Are we gonna have the same players at the top, or is anybody gonna come up this year and say no?
Well, top 2 players are clearly the same: the Astros and the Red Sox. And I mean, I guess you can never count the Dodgers off with their payroll, but I don't see the Dodgers being a World Series team this year,
especially not after losing Yasiel Puig.
Yeah, they made some big trades,
real dumb moves.
And everybody was expecting that meant they were bringing back Machado or
Bryce
the more
Harper.
Likely scenario, bringing Bryce Harper in.
And then they did neither.
They lost Puig. They lost Matt Kemp, who was an all-star last year. And they lost Alex Wood, who was 3rd or 4th in their rotation. So a lot of losses for the Dodgers. The Phillies made the most moves of Phillies. The Twins and the Reds made the most moves of anyone.
Bro, the Phillies are the Cleveland Browns of the MLB.
Right.
They literally they went from worst team in their division to suddenly possibly besides the Nationals, because the Nationals roster is still insane, which is crazy that you lose one of the top 5 players in baseball and you still have a top 10 roster. That's still pretty solid.
Now, it's worth noting for the Astros that they lost 2 of their starting pitchers. Charlie Morton is now Tampa Bay's potential ace. Blake Snell's their ace, but he's their 2-hole. And then Dallas Keuchel, who's still a free agent. He was a Cy Young winner 2 years ago. He's still a free agent.
Didn't he play for the Braves?
No, he's Astros.
That's right. And then they re-signed Verlander, I saw.
Well, they extended Verlander.
2
years, like $66 million. So he's making a nice little paycheck deep into his 30s.
So would you say that this Astros window is? I would say that their position players are pretty much set. This is all dependent. This whole dynasty I mean of success. I'm not going to define success in baseball by World Series because that to me is kind of hard. It's really hard to win the World Series. It's not easy, but it's really also it's nice to note success. So I think, these guys have a chance to be really good for a really long time. But you think these next 5 years are dependent on their pitching more so than anything else?
Oh, I just forgot another thing too. Another one of their starters from last year, Lance McCullers, had TJ.
Oh, well.
So they lost 3 on their rotation. Now they do have maybe the 2 best pitchers in the AL, not named Chris Sale. And
Who
Garrett,
also got extended.
Yeah, Garrett Cole and Justin Verlander.
Remember Garrett Cole pitching against the South Carolina Gamecocks for UCLA?
Yes, I do.
Wow. Life. And then he played for the Pirates, right?
Yeah. He was.
Did they trade him or did he get signed?
Yeah, Pirates traded him in 2017, or was it last? I think it was 2017.
I like that.
At the deadline.
Good for you playing in the College World Series, So, Michael, how them Rockies looking?
We re-signed Nolan Arenado, so that's about all I could hope for over the offseason.
All right. Fair enough. Nothing crazy spring training wise. No cool.
I didn't hear a single news story that said Rockies in it besides re-signing Nolan Arenado over the entire offseason.
Well, you still have Charlie Blackmon and you still have Arenado, so.
Yeah, those are the 2 key guys, and it will stay that way. So we will see.
And the Braves, well, we're just happy to be here.
Hey, the Braves still have one of the best farm systems in all of baseball, so they're going to be good for a while. They have money to spend, so they didn't spend it this year, but maybe they'll spend it next year.
Craig Kimbrell is still a free agent.
Yeah, they could still bring on Kimbrel. They could still bring on Dallas Keuchel. You don't know. These guys are going to get picked up.
The Podfather, Bill Simmons himself, Red Sox aficionado, says that this is all a ploy, and Kimbrel will be back with the Red Sox on May 1st.
There's no way he's unsigned for the first month of the season.
He's a closer.
It's still important to win games in April, man.
Yeah, it is. Games are games. Games are games. Games are games. Ask LeBron. LeBron. Wait, can we talk about? Wait, no. Okay, we'll finish this, and then we can talk. We're gonna talk a little basketball. Is that her?
No, that was my music started playing. No, she goes to me, bro. It's over.
Okay. So we'll pop back. We'll give our opening day thoughts. We'll take a look at everything that happens. I'll probably definitely watch some baseball this weekend for sure. And Leighton's life is about to go full baseball.
It already is.
Okay. The Lakers aren't making the playoffs.
It's a thing of beauty.
Listen. There are times in my life where I've been satisfied with failure. When King Joffrey could no longer intake oxygen, I was happy for his failure to be able to acquire oxygen.
Way to just ruin the show for all.
This is a spoiler.
Fuck off. Fuck off. That was literally 6.5 years ago now. Watch the show or grow up and just roll with it. Red Wedding. All of them die. Get over it.
More spoilers.
Lost. Everybody's dead.
No, they never crashed. They
never crashed. It was all a joke.
There's no tiger in The Life of Pi.
Produced by Bad Robot, though. Go Lost.
The Life of Pi. The kid was just on bath salts the whole time, hallucinating everything.
Oh, yo, we brought that up in freshman English.
Like if the kid was just tripping the whole thing?
Yeah, I said that. I was like, he ate mushrooms. Like he took drugs on that island. And then he was like, the ground's lava. Yeah, bitch, the ground's probably lava if you ate some weird tree flowers. It's like, yeah, okay. Richard Parker. Come on, man. Okay, but the LeBron thing. This is like, come on, y'all. This is the best thing ever. 13 years. 13 years this guy's been in the playoffs, and he finally gets to feel like one of us. And then, you know what the worst part about it is? You know what the worst part about it is that it's not even, like, worth it. He's not, like, going home and, like, hanging out with his kids, you know, like, experiencing what the month of May is like. He's going to shoot Space Jam 2.
And make, like, 15 other TV shows and movies.
Yeah. This is all a ploy. Lakers fans, I hope you know this. This isn't like to win games.
He's on paid retirement.
Yeah, this is like the senior tour for him. And y'all are just y'all are paying him.
This ain't the PGA, this is the Champions Tour.
This is the Champions Tour, bitches. Deal with it. We get golf carts.
Dude, can they just send him to the G League already so he can just dominate?
Wouldn't that be lit if
Andre
they delegate him?
Ingram just takes his roster spot.
You know, Bill Simmons gave Sindarius Thornwell a shout out the other day. He was I like that Thornwell guy. He said, I think he could get 15 points on a team that could give him some minutes. And I was like, you bet your ass he could.
Dude, the Clippers are looking okay right now, man.
How Doc Rivers is going to win Coach of the Year? First of all, if you Leighton, if you want to go to the casino and put some money down on that, Doc Rivers is going to win Coach of the Year.
Put it on the prop bet.
Yeah, put a little prop bet.
Yeah, the Clippers are 45-30 right now.
Bro, the Clippers should have been tanking.
Yeah, I mean, you lose Blake Griffin, you tank.
DeAndre Jordan.
You tank. I mean, like, they're outperforming what
and they traded Tobias Harris, who was
an
all-star. Like,
yeah, so like right now,
Montrezl Harrell.
Right now, if the LA was in the East, they'd be the 5 seed. They'd be over Boston.
I would just like to point out that Michael said LA.
Yeah.
And we both understood that he was referencing the Clippers.
Yeah, because if he was talking about the Lakers, they still wouldn't even make the playoffs in the East, which is so amazing.
Yeah. In the East, they would be a solid 5 games back at least.
Yeah.
There are people in basketball who had entire career stretches in the time that LeBron was in the playoffs, that 13-year stretch, and never went to the playoffs. Like, I don't feel bad. And like Lakers fans, you had this coming. Like, what did you think was going to happen?
Especially after the failed trade for AD, bro. Like,
no, but this starts before that.
Oh yeah, it starts.
This goes back to the tampering with Paul George, and they didn't get Paul George because they were definitely going to get fined up with some tampering.
Yeah, but like, I feel like that's like the tipping point. Like, they were climbing this mountain, and then it was like, oh, didn't get AD.
I mean, I've said it on Fast Breaks and Hot Takes, and I'll say it here right now. Don't be surprised if before the end of next season, if they don't get Anthony Davis, LeBron might get traded. And by traded, I mean he could just get traded to the Clippers. And like, I'm serious because he's kind of
have a no trade clause.
I don't think he has a no trade clause.
Gotta have a no.
I don't think he has a no trade clause.
He's had one his whole career.
Right, but why wouldn't he want to get out of that basketball situation? What about that basketball situation is appealing to LeBron James right now?
I
know what's more appealing? The Brooklyn Nets.
Bro, I don't think he cares. I think you hit it on, like we hit it. He's playing the Champions Tour right now. He's done. He got his ring. He got Cleveland a championship. He does not care anymore.
All right, then we are officially a podcast that deems that LeBron James is not and will not and cannot ever be the greatest of all time.
It says he is not eligible for a no-trade clause with his current contract.
Yeah, so trade the motherfucker.
How are you
it says eligible? The breakdown of his contract, this is like just a breakdown I just found.
Too old.
Is he's got essentially like 35+ mil per year for 4 years, no trade clause. Or not eligible for a no-trade clause.
He knew.
He can also opt out of the 4th year if he wants.
He knew.
So,
dude, if they trade LeBron, though, it will officially be like the Lakers will be the laughingstock of the NBA for years.
The Lakers are already the laughingstock of the league. LeBron James, if you told me at the beginning of the season that LeBron James would miss 16 games, the Lakers wouldn't make the playoffs, and the Clippers would make the playoffs, I would tell you were full of shit.
Do you think if Bron didn't go down, they'd be in this position?
I think they would be fighting for the 8th to 7th seed. Yes, I think they would be fighting for it. I think that injury had a bigger effect on that team than they knew it was going to have because of the media storm that it was able to produce. 16 games is a long-ass time in the NBA. That is 5.5 weeks. That is a lot of Twitter time. That is a lot of Stephen A. Smith. That's a lot of Get Up. That's a lot of talking heads talking about how you're not good without this guy.
It also shows you like how big the LA media really, really is, because LeBron was already probably the biggest superstar athlete of any sport in the world. And
I would say his star has shined less bright since he's gone to LA.
No, he's talked about more now. He's still like the NBA. They talk about Harden dropping buckets, and they talk about Giannis, and they talk about LeBron missing the playoffs.
But then, like we said earlier, then now I think then he's just selling us a fake bag of goods because he's taking plays off on defense. He's not showing up. One of my favorite things that Michael Jordan ever said was, I balled out every night because I knew that there was one person at least one person in the crowd every night that this was the only chance that they were ever going to get to see me play. And last Wednesday, the Bucks were playing the Lakers and LeBron and Giannis both sat out. Are you kidding me? Can you imagine being some 9-year-old kid going to that game thinking you're going to get to see LeBron and Giannis and they're sitting?
LeBron's sitting against the Jazz too. Like, granted, the season's over now, but
yeah, he definitely should have gone to the Jazz.
The Jazz, LeBron.
He's a reformed Mormon. Jabari Parker gets traded to the team and teaches him the ways of John Smith.
Jabari Parker is Mormon?
You did what? Wait, you didn't know this?
No.
Dude, Jabari Parker was Jimmer before
Give
Jimmer
me 2
was.
beautiful minutes of your attention and let me take you back. Let me take you back in time to a beautiful moment 2 months before the college basketball season where there was massive fright with Duke fans that the Justice Winslow, Jabari Parker, Tyus Jones, Jahlil Okafor team was going to be shattered because Jabari Parker was going to have to take his pilgrimage.
Oh, dude.
And so the whole thing was about to be totally fucked because he was going to have to take his pilgrimage. And we were like, oh no, this is over. Like the whole thing's going to fall apart. Everybody's going to start moving on, whatever, go to different schools. Of course, he plays for the school. They go off winning out. Or this is the year before. No.
They lost in the championship, I think, or in the final four.
Sorry. Excuse me. Not the Jahlil Okafor team. This is the year before. But Tyus Jones was still on the team. They lost to Lehigh in the second round.
Yeah, they did.
Yeah.
They lost to C.J. McCollum.
They lost to C.J. McCollum and Lehigh. God, that hurts. That hurts so bad. You guys end the show. You guys end it. Let's see. Wrap it up. Wrap it up, Michael.
I'm just sad that the Warriors schedule is so much easier than the Nuggets down the stretch. I have to kind of concede that we're probably not going to even contest for the first seed because we got to play the Rockets, the Thunder, you guys, the Jazz, pretty much all the remaining playoff teams in the West.
Michael, if I were you, I'd be more stoked to land the 2 seed. I don't want to play the Spurs in the first round.
I would prefer.
I
would prefer to play the Spurs than the Jazz.
I really would rather play the Spurs.
Yeah, I wouldn't want to play the Jazz.
Dude, I can definitely let LaMarcus Aldridge and DeMar DeRozan get their little, 20 and 10.
Dude, it's still Pop. Like, he's got something up his sleeve.
Yeah, I don't give a fuck, dude. Those guards suck besides DeMar DeRozan. Patty Mills is getting old in the tooth, and he's good for 1 game. They are not beating the Warriors in 7 games.
I'm not saying, but Denver is a young team. I wouldn't want to take a veteran team like the Spurs in the first round. I'd settle for the Jazz,
I think the Jazz are a scarier
I think the
threat
Jazz
based on
are
the
more
ways they've
scary.
played the Nuggets this season. The Jazz
Rudy
give the
Gobert,
Nuggets a
dude.
really hard time.
Rudy Gobert, for some reason, is like the one big
He
man
eats
who just
Jokic
eats
up,
Jokic
dude.
alive, dude.
He eats him.
I don't know what it is. It's just like every time Jokic looks in that man's
He like
face,
speaks French to him and he throws him off.
he's
Like,
like Jokic just shits his pants on the court. He's, oh, what did he say to me, bro? Like,
Well, then just send that video of Gobert crying at a press conference because he didn't make the All-Star game. Send that to Jokic and be like,
Hey,
bro,
man.
you're scared of this.
if only
dude.
you had that
I'm just
much
gonna-
passion to
I'm just
cry
gonna
about something. When's
start-
the last time you cried about something you cared about, Layden?
I'm not actually ripping Gobert, but like
Good. We do not condone crying. Like
I
we
like
accept
Gobert.
crying here.
but
no, but like, the only teams that I don't want to play in the first or second round are the Jazz and the Rockets. I'm fine with any other.
Bring on the Rockets.
I don't want to
Bring on the Rockets in the playoffs.
You can have the Rockets. I don't want the freaking Rockets, dude. I'm scared of the Rockets.
ain't nobody want James Harden in the playoffs. You don't want that.
I would take the Trailblazers.
I do.
over
See
the Rockets
game
so many
6.
times.
They had
Of the
you on the
Western Conference
ropes
Finals.
last year. You're lucky Chris Paul just sucked.
James Harden also went 0 for 13 in game 7.
Oof.
That guy's always in there. Like, I'm sorry. Like, James Harden is slowly becoming, excuse me, Michael, the Peyton Manning of the NBA. Like, he is so great in the regular season, and he is so good all the time. And then gets to the playoffs.
Because he's got to do it all on himself. Like you're gonna expect PJ.
I know, but that's
Tucker,
the Peyton Manning thing. That's what I'm saying.
That's why you get a Von Miller, but there's no Von Millers in the NBA. So
No, well, Clint Capella is pretty damn close. Clint
Yeah.
Capella is a great center.
Rudy Gobert, those two guys.
I don't know, Boogie's a little Von Miller. He's a little alpha dog.
do you see the
You-
interview with Boogie recently? And someone asked him about like, did he see the whole AD situation coming out?
I saw
And,
that.
and Boogie just looks at the guy. He's like, "Psh, yeah, like, like as soon as we had our thing between him and AD, and like he left, he's like, as soon as that happened, like I knew AD's out. Like,
Oh, y'all, peep this shirt.
oh, dude, what's up, Apollo?
That's Rocky Balboa versus Apollo Creed. I got this shirt for $2. It came in a Rocky VHS box.
Dun 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 dun.
All right, on that note, that'll do it for this episode of Consistently Inconsistent Sports. Leighton, where can the fine folks of the interwebs find your beautiful face?
Catch me on the Twitter sphere because that's the only social media I use. At
You really got to get on the gram, dude.
LaytonMarkWood. I'm on the gram, but I haven't posted in almost 2 years.
Wow. I thought we had a nice time at Bonnaroo last year. Not good enough for an Instagram post.
I didn't take any pictures personally. Well, all of mine are on like
I have so many of you on my phone.
old school camera.
I have so many of you on my phone.
I didn't use my phone at all at Bonnaroo.
It's like us in front of the arch like 12 different times.
Fuck yeah.
Hey, bro, take a picture, man. Happy Roo, dude. Happy Roo.
Happy Roo, brother.
Happy Roo, brother. Happy Roo.
Fuck. I'm gonna
On that
miss
note-
it this year.
Michael Kinslow, where can they find your skinny burrito?
Dude, if my dial-up's working, you can get me on my AOL Messenger.
AIM.
Yeah, AIM. That is just Chunky Taco as always. And
Is
then
that the first place you ever used Chunky Taco?
no, I think the first time I used it was like Xbox,
Okay.
like
What
the
about
original
RuneScape?
Xbox. No, I was something different in RuneScape. I can't remember what it was.
Yeah, we definitely.
Oh, yo, I was something to do with the Godfather in RuneScape because that.
You know what
game
the
just came
saddest
out
part
for
about
PS2.
mentioning RuneScape is? Michael's sister is better than all three of us.
That's a fact. She
That
old
is a-
school RuneScape's
She
harder than
streams
all of
that.
it.
She
Yeah.
streams that.
My mom made me stop playing because I wasn't 13 yet. And it's like when you first log on, it's like, are you 13?
Oh,
Fuck yeah, I am, Mom. Fuck yeah, I am, Internet. Let's go.
My
But
mom
no,
was
you
like,
can find me
"Can't be
everywhere,
playing
Chunky
those
Taco.
games."
Dope. We'll find me at _C Morris. Listen to Fast Breaks and Hot Takes for more basketball. We're deep into the NCAA tournament right now. We are slugging through. Also covered the amazing Brooklyn Nets comeback on the latest episode. Also, this week I co-hosted Bangable the podcast with Rachel Smith, who I met at Podfest, and we broke down the first round of the NCAA tournament. But kind of broke it down on a more basic scale for her listeners. They're a little more naive to the full in depth, not quite as in depth as we are.
What
So it's
type of
fun.
show is that? Is it a sports show or what is it?
So it's Beauties and Ballers is what she calls her listeners, and they kind of they talk sports, but they also talk fashion, pop culture, not pop culture,
dude,
but
easy breezy,
relevant.
beautiful cover girl.
So they're talking very Cavallari and the Final Four at the same time. I kind of love it.
Yeah, I'll send you a link.
Do we talk about Cam Newton's outfit?
Oh,
Yeah, they could definitely do that. So our plan is that I'm probably going to be on there once a month. So I'm going to bring on some sports, and then I'm also going to bring the fashion, where I'm going to bring check out these sweet kicks they were wearing, shit like that. So,
sweet.
All right, boys. Well, thanks for joining me. That'll do it for this episode of Consistently Inconsistent Sports. Follow us, subscribe, like, share, all that good shit. Share us. We really appreciate it. Cool. Well, that'll do it. Peace.
Deuces.